Hello, hello, and welcome back to Baki Taki, Season 6, Episode 7, Feather. This is a good episode of Baki. Who knows if the podcast will be a good episode. But to help me make that dream a reality, we've got returning guest, contest-winning guest. It's Christian.
I won a contest.
Yeah, remember at the big Baki Taki finale?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't stand out as much now that the show came back.
No, I win a lot of contests.
Oh, what was the last contest you won?
The Baki one.
Okay. That was 2 years ago.
It meant a dry spell. It happens.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I win a lot of contests. All right. Well, Christian's back. He's ready to talk about Baki, but before we do, I've got two questions that I ask all of my guests. The first one is a fun one. Christian, what's new with you? What have you been up to since the hiatus? So in the last 2 years.
Oh, what? It actually has been a full 2 years, huh? Well, I mean, it feels shorter, I guess, because I mean, this is obviously one of the big highlights. I was on Anime Jukebox, your other podcast.
And that's a
That was one of the big ones.
collector's item right there. Getting
Oh
to be
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
guests on
I mean,
there.
I watched all of Evangelion
You
for that.
say that. You still gotta watch the movie, man. End of Evangelion
I
is
haven't seen
incredible.
anything other than the series. There's so much other Evangelion. But no, for real, I got engaged, got a house. Things are going well.
And the second question that I always ask, coming into this episode, what did you know about Baki?
Fortunately, a fair bit. I think this is my fourth, I think, episode.
Could
And as
be,
previously, it could be. I can't remember how many I did in the original run, but I feel like this is either my fourth or fifth.
yeah. So this is Christian's fourth solo episode, although he also did a duo episode with Jack. There's the big episode where the entire gang came together for the finale. And apparently he did an episode with Lindsay, Catherine, and Phil. Episode 26. I'm going to go rewatch that. That sounds great. Anyway.
But I also won that contest, as we just mentioned. So I have definitely consumed enough of it that I know some of the Baki lore.
That is true.
And I did note that I recognized far more of the reused, like the recycled footage in the new intro. I recognized a lot more of it than I was comfortable with.
That intro has been growing on me. I do enjoy seeing the greatest hits of Baki. It does suck that like all we get of Musashi is like a like almost a gif of his face moving up to Baki's at the end. But it is what it is.
It does seem like not a lot of material from this season, which is weird
Zero.
for.
There's zero.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess Musashi, that one shot, but like, come on, isn't the whole season centered around him?
Yes, he's the invincible samurai.
Yeah, it seems odd that the intro sequence doesn't really bring up samurai at all, you know?
I'm hoping the second half is gonna have more more original animation. I guess some original animation would be another way to phrase that.
Oh, so this is a two-parter?
Yes, that has now. I don't think I've said this on the podcast yet, but it has been confirmed that Netflix is planning to adapt the second half of Baki Do, or at least another part of it, and they said it's coming at some point. So if you're any JoJo fans out there, will know that means absolutely nothing. But it'll come out someday.
It seems like every time they release a season of this, and you are under the impression that it's the last one, Netflix steps in and is like, no, 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 we'll do
I
another.
I thought for a long time that Baki was just some sort of weird like lost leader that they just had, but over time, like I've realized Baki is actually very very popular. Like if you look at metrics, and Netflix releases this because they're a cool tech company, but if you look at metrics they have on anime watch hours across their platform, Baki's always either like in first place or like behind the biggest show that they got. Like Baki's always doing very well. It's a worldwide juggernaut of popularity. That
So it's like Stranger Things and then Baki and then like everything else that Netflix does.
Yes, yeah, more or less. Anyway, all right, let's get on to the show. So this episode starts with one of my favorite little moments. Musashi is looking at a fire that he made, and he's playing with a lighter.
It's incredible. Flame at a flick.
So this was probably your introduction to Musashi. What'd you think of the guy?
I mean, I had like read the season description, so I understood that there was like a out of place or out of time samurai, and that like did kind of the fact that he was playing with a lighter and like kind of amazed by it kind of clued me in. Oh, this is the guy. But I don't know. I just thought he seemed way more chill than most Baki characters. Like he seems pretty relaxed and non-violent.
Yeah, it really like the only guy who comes close is like Biscuit Oliva, but like he's just a very when he's just chilling looking at a lighter, he comes across as such a warm, friendly guy. He's just like, wow.
Well, even he's using the fire that he made to like tend to a little wound he's got. Like he's just like kind of looking after himself.
Mashed raw charcoal. Then add some horse oil. Mix it into a paste. That'll do it. Now it'll heal.
I will say he's insane, but he comes across quite well. So
yeah, I did not get any of that in this episode, really.
Yes, because this one's very Retsu focused. And speaking of that, basically Tokugawa comes in and explains that Retsu has come back. He wants to fight. And the big catch this time is that weapons are allowed, because that's the one rule in Baki is you're not allowed to use weapons in the underground arena. Now there's no rules. What do you think of this development?
Well, I would say that with some of the gratuitous violence that we've seen in what are supposed to be weapon-free, not to the death battles, I don't think that adding weapons to it is really like that much of a bridge to cross. Like people have had their faces ripped off. I know not in the arena, but like, you know, there's been some pretty horrible things that have happened.
No, one guy did get his face ripped off in the arena.
Oh, it was in the arena. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you use your teeth, I guess it's allowed.
Yeah. Did they ever have Pickle in the arena?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. When he fought Jack, he sort of ripped his mouth off.
Right, that was Pickle that did that. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty hot. Now, So I realized that I think what Christian was referring to is Yujiro once ripped Kaio Ryu's face off, just like you tear saran wrap off something. I was thinking, of course, of Pickle, who sort of bit Jack Hanma's face off. But I think Christian actually has a much more accurate claim here. And I just forgot in the moment, so mea culpa. So I wanted to ask about some of the language in this scene. I wanted to see your opinion. Do you think man from the continent is a slur?
I did think that sounded a little off.
Then I presume you were the one who asked for permission to use weapons during the match, weren't you? Man from the continent.
If it is a slur, it's definitely some sort of like, I don't know when, like what era. Samurai existed for a long time, but like, I don't know, 14th century or something.
Yeah.
Slur, like,
It's
it definitely seemed a little off.
It's one of my favorite phrases. Musashi uses it all throughout the he likes to typically call Retsu a Ming warrior, but man from the continent was my favorite way he described him. It's such a it just screams like, you know, a different era. It's not a very global world that Musashi came from.
No, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's saying it in a way that's like insulting. Doesn't sound great on paper, but you know, it doesn't seem like he's being a dick about it.
Yeah. It's also just fun to consider the continent. Like,
Yeah, there's only one. There's the island, and then there's the continent.
this conference, their conversation doesn't go very well. Retsu picks up a bad vibe from Musashi. Who knows if that's true?
He just started glowing.
He made a little mean face too. He made a mean face. He started glowing, and Retsu tried to attack him. And I'm just gonna describe this fight because it's really fun. Retsu goes up to kick him. Musashi grabs Retsu's peg leg and snaps it in half with his grip. But then Retsu continues to kick him and knocks out Musashi. A very impressive feat. Here's my first question. Did you know Retsu had lost his leg, and did you remember it?
Yeah, I remembered. Because Pickle ate it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've seen the meme of Retsu having been eaten like to the neck.
My favorite.
But yeah, he's gonna need a new leg. That's twice now that he's lost his leg.
Also, I liked how he said that in the real fight he'll bring a stronger leg. So I'm hoping he makes it out of diamonds or something, because I don't know. I think Musashi's going to be able to crush most things.
Yeah, honestly, you'd think someone like Retsu would walk around with a stronger leg than that.
Yes.
Given what he gets up to.
Yes. Well, this wasn't supposed to be a fight.
Yeah, but like just in his day-to-day life, you'd think the man would need a really kick-ass peg leg.
It's true. It's true. I can't.
Maybe he doesn't want to have it as like a crutch, like he doesn't want to be armed, sort of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't want like a knife blade or something. I can't get over that he still has this peg leg. Like, there's better. I don't know. I don't think there's a single person alive that has a peg leg today, other than Retsu. Am I crazy?
I'm sure there's pirates still.
Maybe. Anyway, so this moves on to a new scene where after Retsu clarifies that he came at him first, and I do want to give credit to Retsu for having a good kick. We meet a character that has not come up a lot, but will come up a lot more this season, Motobe.
Forgive me for prying, but I've heard some rumors about the upcoming match.
So had you seen Motobe before?
Not at all, no. He's new.
Motobe was in like one episode in the first season of this podcast, where he fought he fought Unagi the Poisoner. You'd remember him.
I remember Unagi.
Yeah, Motobe showed up with a chain and kicked his ass and broke his face.
He just never had a good showing, did he? He had too many gimmicks. He just always got his ass kicked.
It's funny, he had a good showing. It was against Doyle, though. Like, he had to fight one of the other death row inmates.
Sad.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all Motobe's done in like 100 episodes. So he comes back, and basically he's sort of the protagonist of this part of the season. He's going to save us all from Musashi. He has this idea that Musashi is going to kill everybody, that he is such a good fighter that like he's going to kill people. And who knows, maybe he's right. We haven't got to that part yet. But what I really loved was his advice that Retsu should bring a machine gun to the fight.
Then I am not joking when I say that perhaps Retsu should prepare a machine gun.
Yeah, he brings this up twice, because he brings that up later too, when he's talking to Retsu directly. It's like, you should bring a machine gun. Or it wouldn't matter if you brought a machine gun. I think he changes what he's arguing.
Yeah, and it's because I don't think he's joking. Here's a question: do you think Retsu could win if he had a machine gun?
How far apart are they starting?
10 feet.
Probably, yeah.
Do you think?
The guy's quick with his sword, but like, if you got 10 feet.
Do you think it would be an interesting fight, or do you think everybody would go home thinking, "Why did that man from the continent shoot that guy?"
I don't think they're allowed to say that. They're too modern.
Why did that Min warrior destroy that guy dressed as Musashi Miyamoto?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you gave him some distance, I think it would be a pretty lame fight. Unless he can treat the bullets like leaves,
Mm,
because he can cut through leaves real good.
he can cut through leaves. He can, well, spoilers. He can cut through more than just leaves. Yes. Before we jump ahead to Retsu's training, there was one line Motobe had. So the philosophy that Motobe has is that um, because Musashi has trained with weapons, he is superior to people who haven't, and he lists every weapon that a samurai would know. And he ends with horses, which was my favorite. Um, do you think? And then somebody he adds that even Yujiro Hanma hasn't trained with these weapons. If he attacked Yujiro with a horse, do you think Yujiro would be able to respond?
I mean, I do, because Yujiro Hanma is the writer's like perfect angel.
Raiders self
Um,
insert.
yeah, exactly. I think that Yujiro would simply eat the horse.
I guess that's a good strategy. In like one
Um,
bite, like he just opens his mouth and the horse runs in.
yeah, it'd be sort of like Wario with the motorcycle in Smash. He just kind of
Ah.
chomps it down. Yeah.
And then he
And
farts and
then
flies up 200 feet.
my conception of Yujiro is just Wario. But yeah, no, I don't think I don't know. When I heard horse as a weapon, I was picturing like there's a scene in one of the John Wick movies where he gets into a stable and a guy like goes to attack him and he just like hits the back of a horse and causes it to kick, but he does it in the same way that he like double taps everyone with his pistol,
Yeah,
and he like hits the horse a couple more times so that it like double taps the guy's face.
that's so funny. Which one is that? Is that like John Wick
I
2?
think I think it was the third one.
Okay.
Um, it's been a little while since I've seen it, so
I've only seen a few of them. I've seen like the first and I think the fourth. I should watch the third.
oh, I haven't watched the fourth one, honestly. That's the only one I think I haven't seen. Although they did that spin-off one recently, so I haven't seen that either.
I saw that on vacation, I think. Anyway,
It feels about right. It's kind of an airplane movie, I feel like,
yeah.
at this point.
Yeah. Although I do think John Wick's had a big impact. This is just my thing with anime. I find there's so many shows nowadays about super powered spies, super assassins who can just like fight off 1,000 people. And I honestly feel like John Wick was like kicked off a whole trend of like the 1 versus 1,000 super spy. But
It wouldn't shock me. It definitely was influential, and I think it's kind of shifted a lot of action choreography stuff. Um, yeah.
good movies. Also, Baki famously did also start the 1 versus 100. As the first chapter of Baki is him fighting 100 guys. Um, he's
Like Johnny.
like my dog.
No, no, Johnny Wick.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not on a nickname basis with Mr. Wick. So now we move to a great part of the episode, Retsu's training. It starts out with some great training. I wrote in my notes, get kicked in the face training, where everybody in the dojo is kicking him in the face, punching him in the face as hard as he can. And it's doing nothing. And this is because of the return of one of the greatest Baki mechanics, Xiao Li.
Xiao Li is different from any advanced techniques you're familiar with. How is it done? You simply become this. A feather.
I knew it.
Do you want? Were you familiar with this concept before? Either way, can you try and explain it?
I don't know that this was the same concept as I remember in one of the episodes I watched. They had this thing about like kind of letting your body be like loose to absorb impacts, and it's kind of that idea of like moving with the impact a little bit.
Yep.
To basically ignore the injury. But they talk about how like you can use this because they're essentially saying it like it makes your body like a feather that it can like move with the strike essentially.
That's if you're really good at it. It starts with making your body like a bag of ice, and then it makes you like a cocoon, and then a piece of paper, and then if you're really good, you become a feather.
Right. There's tiers to it. But yeah, he says that it can like I can't remember what the in between one was, but it's like you can ignore the impact of a bullet or the impact of a missile.
The missile
And
is
like
very funny.
I think the missile is maybe a bit much. That's suspending some disbelief there that you can just sort of wiggle your way out of being exploded.
I think it's assuming that this missile was sent not to explode, but to just like punch you really hard. Like, like the missile doesn't have a payload; it just hits you in the chest, and you go, "Oh,
That would actually make a lot of sense in the Baki universe,
yeah."
given that Yujiro Hanma is apparently the most dangerous force in the universe, and he just punches good.
They just keep sending empty missiles at him.
We haven't figured out how to make an explosive. It's all punching.
That would be so funny. Just like a throwaway line where like gunpowder doesn't exist in this world. Like nobody's discovered explosives. But yeah, so missiles can't hit a feather. I also had that in my notes. I also loved when Kaiokaku explained this concept that Retsu would be light as a feather, and one of the guys who had been punching him went, "I knew it. He's a feather." Because when he had been punching Retsu, he had felt so strongly that he was like a feather. I thought that was a lovely moment.
Yeah, and they also multiple times commented on how big Retsu is.
He's a big guy.
He's a very big guy.
Yep.
Just gotta let that hang.
We're gonna also comment on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only other comment for this was I put in quotes dual wielding exclamation mark.
Dual wielding isn't exclusive to Musashi.
Yeah, they held Y.
Yeah. I think Kaku just said dual wielding is something that is a thing in Chinese. It was interesting to see. Chinese swordsmanship seems to be that you, for some reason, hold your breath with your cheeks puffed out, and you swing your swords around as if you're trying to take off like a helicopter. Meanwhile, Japanese swordsmanship is you hit them with a katana once and kill them.
Yeah. I don't know how realistic that is. It kind of, I don't know. I I know that like those sorts of like scimitar swords are usually used in a more, I guess, acrobatic way than say a katana, because like a katana you kind of have to like strike very precisely for it to cut effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they did bring up Kenpo at one point when they were talking about Musashi, and I know that that is like a very rigid martial art. I don't know. Maybe there's some basis in that. I don't know about the Chinese dual wielding scimitar thing.
It seemed pretty superfluous. Seemed like a lot of work
Yeah.
for not any gain. But
Yeah.
Kaiokaku still got it. So
By the way, I wanted to comment on his skin. It looks like it looked like it shattered. Like he doesn't look like he has like old person skin. It looks like his skin like is broken porcelain.
when you turn 150, that's what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
not looking forward to that.
I mean, don't worry. I wouldn't worry too much. Anyway, while this is all going on, Musashi's doing his own thing. We see him just sort of vibing in the yard, and then he cuts a leaf that falls. He cuts it again. He says, "It's satisfactory." Combining a few of his segments because we jump back and forth here. He teaches Tokugawa that swordsmanship is all in the hips, which I liked. But more importantly, a feather falls down. And we just, like, the whole point of what Retsu's trying to be is to be like a feather. Were you surprised that Musashi was able to cut this feather, this uncuttable feather, with his sword?
Oh, absolutely not. What is a feather if not a bird leaf?
That's true. That's what I thought. Starting with a leaf, it's sort of It'd be very odd to draw the line at leaves and feathers.
Yeah. Also, I did make a note that he cut one of the leaves almost perfectly into the Smash logo.
Imagine if Musashi joined the brawl. That would be great.
Out of all of the characters that could.
He's technically public domain, you know. Just
Oh, sure. It's if he's a real dude, then yeah.
yeah. Oh, you don't know about Musashi Miyamoto? Yeah, he is a real dude. He's like,
Oh, it's okay. I have heard Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Like respect to a samurai. I didn't they kept calling him Musashi. I hadn't really heard the last name.
yeah, no, this is the real guy. They cloned him,
Okay.
and then a spirit kissed him and put his spirit back in his body. So this is about as real as you get.
I'm sorry, they had to. That's even more convoluted than Pickle.
Yes, it is. Well, the thing is, Pickle
And
never,
also,
Pickle
it
never,
feels like a downgrade from Pickle. Pickle's way more threatening.
I mean, is he? This guy's got swords.
Pickle ate people.
Let's
He wrestled like Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Well, Pickle's still around. Maybe if maybe we'll get an answer to this by the end of the season. But anyway,
You can't just keep feeding Pickle cloned samurai.
actually, that would be great. They can stop killing all those tigers.
It sounds like you're just feeding samurai to a caveman.
I actually would love. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, moving on. Motobe comes back. Oh no, we missed the most important part. Retsu's lessons. So, Retsu is learning how to not get stabbed. He gets stabbed with a sword multiple times, and he's just bleeding all over the place. But by the fourth time, he learns the perfect counter, and that's if somebody hits you with a sword, you twirl around like a ballerina on your tiptoe for about maybe 10 seconds, and you have taken all of the force, and it will not cut you. Disregarding the fact that I think that's pretty tough to pull off, I do think that it leaves a bit of a weakness as you spin around like a ballerina. I do think that a skilled fighter could probably hit you with another sword while that's going on.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, your description is like it literally is a pirouette. Like he's literally on his on point
Yeah.
doing it, and he does it for long enough that you could definitely just stab him.
In another
Again.
life, Retsu could have been a great dancer. Instead, he chose the path of the fist.
Sad.
I wrote down in my notes, Baki's music is just so good. I'll play the music, but they have like a nice variation on the Retsu theme when he actually nails this technique.
A man who became a feather in only 4 tries. You've done well.
But yeah, Retsu was able to learn how to not get stabbed after 4 attempts. Makes you wonder why he didn't do this earlier. Could have been a good skill to have. It only took him a half hour.
Yeah, not getting stabbed is handy.
Yeah. Imagine
I don't know how many people he's fought previously that could have stabbed him, really, but it's just sort of something you'd want under your belt if you're someone who fights people a lot.
Imagine if you were walking home and somebody pulled a knife on you and you just laughed, and then he tried to stab you and you did a twirl move and just twirled away.
You'd be unstoppable, or at least unmuggable.
Unmuggable, yeah. And then he pulls out a blunt object, and I'm like, no.
Not the pipe.
So now we finally get Motobe entering. So Motobe explains that Musashi doesn't come from an era where people fight for fun or for entertainment. He comes from an era where people fight to the death. And says literally, please withdraw. I enjoyed this a lot. Do you think Motobe, what was your take on this scene before they started fighting each other?
I think Motobe is being very inconsistent here because he was saying that like, oh, he should bring a machine gun to kill this guy, like if he wants to stand a chance. And then when he talks to Retsu, he's like, a machine gun would do nothing. Don't even bother. Uh, I don't know. It just seems like he really doesn't want uh Retsu to fight him. Um, and I do you think he's actually doing this to protect uh Miyamoto, or do you think he's doing this to,
No, he's
you
doing
know,
this
protect
to.
Retsu?
He's doing it to protect Retsu, 100%.
Okay, well, he does
Retsu's a nice
fight
guy.
Retsu pretty
Retsu
hard.
doesn't kill people. I think he might have killed some people. I don't know. But he does fight Retsu quite hard. Well, I think his goal is to injure Retsu so they can't do the fight.
True, yeah.
It doesn't work.
Because yeah, the Vulcan nerve pinch from his master.
Only Kaiokaku gets to do that. Like Kaiokaku is like the embodification of just like, ooh, ancient magic kung fu, like.
Yeah.
And he just appears behind him, but yeah, it's a good trick.
Yeah.
And I like how when he did it, he called he called Motobe a moron.
Yeah, he wasn't mincing words.
No. It was funny. Also, he got so mad. He was like, "It's the night before the fight. If you're injured, Musashi will be offended." Meanwhile, this guy 2 minutes ago was literally swinging swords at Retsu. Like Retsu is still bleeding from several cuts that he just did on him.
Retsu is injured.
Yeah. Retsu loses the fight because of a crippling infection from an unwashed blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got dirty with all that spinning.
Anyway, so it cuts to the underground arena. This is sort of where the episode ends, and this is just a real interesting thing. Who are the people who go to the underground arena? You go.
I was thinking about this too, because it's called the Underground Fighting Arena. It has a huge fucking crowd.
Yeah, it's got great word of mouth, but like the people going there look like it's just a cross section of Japan. Like it looks like the equivalent of like a Raptors game. Like it's just everyday people who have decided to watch like a blood sport fight, not typically to the death until today.
Yeah, it like I think I would buy the crowd more if they looked like they were in like martial arts attire. You know, like if it was like, oh, it's like some of the gyms and dojos and whatnot in the area. Like I would buy that more than just like, yeah, these are just kind of random people off the street who just want to watch a samurai die.
And that's the thing. Like it would be like if I went to a UFC fight, which I wouldn't do, but it could happen. And the announcer came out and said, and today they're going to kill each other. And I just stayed. I was like, all right, I guess I already paid for my seat. I'll just stay here. Like I don't know why people.
Imagine you went to a UFC match and there were just a bunch of fucking swords stuck in the middle of the arena, and you're like, I think this one's going to be a little different.
Oh, I don't know about this one. Anyway,
they're taking the MMA part of this very seriously.
It's very mixed. Anyway, but yeah, that's sort of where the episode ends. So Christian, what'd you think about this episode? You've seen quite a few episodes. Baki still got it?
This was a weird one because I feel like it was more it felt like, I wouldn't say filler, but like it was very much a transitionary episode. Like it felt like it was kind of,
it's build up.
Yeah, it's build up for sure, but like it didn't feel like that much happened, I guess. Like I guess we just saw Retsu training mainly, but like
I think it's all about setting up the fight. Like clearly, like this fight is going to be a conflict between Shaori and and just hitting people with a sword.
Yeah, I feel like most other Baki episodes I've seen have like involved a pretty big fight, and this one there were like a couple like small moments of action, but there wasn't like a centerpiece fight at all, which is definitely different than other Baki episodes I've seen. But
It's true.
I kind of appreciate that because it like for once it feels like there's actual pacing going on.
Yes, yeah. I think this is my favorite part of the season is this little Retsu arc. The early part had a bit of a weird pacing, a bit too much Baki, and now we're getting into like the show's Baki's bread and butter, which is random people throwing themselves at our antagonist. And I think Retsu and Motu.
And Baki is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, Baki's not even in the arena. It was like, I don't want to see this. Baki had school the next day. It's also funny. The whole season started with him being the most bored man alive, and then the idea of watching Musashi fight Retsu, he's like, I'm not going to show up.
Is that actually why he's not around right now?
No, he's not. He's around. He was here two episodes ago. I think he's just trying to do his own training. I'm pretty sure Baki's going to come back at the end of the second part and presumably finish Musashi. But right now he's got to practice because Musashi sort of kicked his ass.
Oh, they've already fought.
Yeah. Musashi picked him up by the leg and then said, you try and kick me. Are you from the Ryukyu Islands? I don't know why people.
Man, this guy's just stereotyping everyone.
It's such a cutting stereotype that if you kick, you're from the Ryukyu Islands.
Ryukyu? Where? Hold on, I gotta look up Ryukyu Islands.
I think he was talking about Okinawa, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that seems to be it.
Yeah. I have to look up the timeline. I think in Musashi's time period, Ryukyu might not have been a part of Japan. I think Okinawa might have still been its own nation.
Yeah, it says it was a kingdom from 1429 to 1875. Musashi Miyamoto.
Yeah, he was way before that. He was like 1600s.
Okay.
Yeah. I learned a lot about Okinawa this year.
Oh yeah, so he would have been.
I watched it.
Yeah, they would have been fully contemporary.
Any hoot. I think we have a fan question. Fan question. Everybody loves fan questions. All right. Is the best defense against swords in the Bakiverse learning to dodge, or just being so muscular that you become impenetrable? Characters like Oliva and Pickle who can shrug off bullets come to mind. What do you think, Christian?
I don't think we see as impressive speed feats as we do just like tanking a hit feats in this setting. Like even him doing that spin is more just him deflecting the blow that's hitting him rather than like dodging it. So I would lean towards this setting favors just being a muscular tank.
I think
it's a big beefy boy.
I'm gonna say this is one of those things that's like topical. Like it depends on what era of Baki we're talking about. Like for a long time, I think Baki was all about muscle is might makes right. But I think we've passed that. I think we're no longer in an era where Oliva or Pickle are the top dog. I think that that we're in a clear area where steel, the sharp steel reigns supreme. I keep thinking of guns, germs, and steel. But yeah, no, I don't think them. I guess what I mean is Oliva was portrayed as the world's most muscular guy, and he's still super muscular, and he loses all the time. Like he lost to Baki. Yujiro was weirdly stronger than him. I really don't think Musashi would be unable to cut through him. I think he'd go, "Oh, you're pretty beefy. I'm gonna have to swing twice," and then he'd cut off his arm. That's my rant. I feel like that question made me a bit annoyed. But anyway, it was a good question.
There's a quote in the episode I think it was regarding Retsu learning the feather technique, but what's his master's name?
Kaiokaku.
Kaiokaku. Said impressive for one with such a thick body. And I think that the thick body thing is what's important here in Baki.
Yep.
They do really like their thick boys.
Yeah. It's also a good like general pickup line if anybody's like still single.
If anyone out there listening is still single,
I can't
try impressive for one with such a thick body next time you're at the club.
You got to wait for them to do something. Like, if they break it down, you can be like, impressive for one with such a thick body. And then follow it up with, do you watch Baki? Anyway. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't know how well Do You Watch Baki is going to work out there, but I think the first one has some potential.
Yeah. Well, Christian, did you have anything else you wanted to mention?
That Guns, Germs, and Steel is widely regarded as inaccurate.
I
would be remiss if I didn't bring that up. But...
Good to know. Editor Steve will add some context. Editor Steve won't be adding more context. I've got sick kids. We're lucky we're getting this episode out. Bye-bye. Anyway, that's all the Baki we've got to Taki. See you all next week.
Hi.
Oh, good timing.
私だけは絶対君をどんな時だって笑顔にできるだから